So, to start with, you are both Namibian, both from Windhoek, I'm not sure.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and about your languages, what languages you speak, how you pick them up, when you speak them, with whom?
Right.
Okay. I'm born in a German family, so mom and dad both German, grandparents from Germany. So I grew up learning German here in Namibia, and then I can't remember how it happens, but I think I learned Afrikaans off the streets, like when you little kids, neighbors and stuff, because Afrikaans is a very big language still here in Namibia, especially in the white community. That's how I think I got to learn to speak Afrikaans before I even went to school. And then somewhere along the line, even before school, also English. Just like, I think as a kid you pick up a language very, very quick. Even in school, it just came. And then all of a sudden I could speak 3 languages: German, English, and Afrikaans. And it just stuck.
Just quickly, who are you?
Oh, Renee. My name is Renee.
Yeah, we'll put the names probably also in the. We'll do a little write up for this, so
Yes.
we'll put it in there. I'll make sure that I have your names down in the
Full
with the
name
right.
with
Full name.
age, Renee Trout
Okay.
from
Yeah.
Namibia.
Alright, I'm Andre Hubert. I'm born Afrikaans. I'm a Namibian citizen. I've been grown up here, but I went from a very young age. I went to an English school, so English is now my first language, I would say, because that's how I speak to my wife as well. But being friends, like Renee mentioned, there's a lot of times where you meet people and they speak different languages and you hang out with these people as well. So I'm picking up on a lot of German as well. And then at the same time, my wife is Portuguese. Her whole family is Portuguese. So I'm slowly but surely getting to learn how to speak Portuguese. Now my son is learning as well. So it's actually a great process of him learning Portuguese, and I'm adding on to that. So that's how we're going about
Excellent.
this whole situation.
Okay. And you are also musicians, and you're in the same band. So can you tell us a bit about the band, how it came together, and again, the different members, what languages are there, and how do you use those languages?
The band's called Farmers Attack. It's been around for about 7 years already. I would say it's a split, English and German. Half. It used to be half. Now we had member changes. Now it's actually 3 German guys, 1 English speaking, which is Andre. So yeah, sometimes I feel a bit bad for him, because if you're German to a German guy, you speak German. I mean, obviously you can pick up and stuff, but we just start blabbering in German, and then he puts it in, and we just switch to English. So it's sort of a mixed thing at the band.
But it's a good, like you've been, like, how do you say, you're being thrown into the deep end. So at that point in time, you actually start trying to catch on as quickly as you possibly can.
So I'm sure he sits there and he's going like, he's just trying to latch on, because we speak about how writing songs, we're going to do this and this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you latch on.
Yeah.
But then we just switch to English when he comes in. It's like, it's a very weird process, but it works.
Yeah. Well, the way that we also play a lot of, we've got an acoustic set as well, and in the acoustic set we've covered Afrikaans songs, because we have noticed that there's a larger, sometimes at our gigs there's a larger audience for that, so we would then cover maybe two or three Afrikaans songs, as well as a German song as well, like what's it?
Red Balloons.
Red Balloons. I think pretty sure you know that.
Yes.
There's like an English, at the beginning it's English, and then all of a sudden it switches over to German, and people then sometimes love that. And we've also covered a couple of Tottenhausen songs.
Yeah. And it's actually, especially that song, when we play shows, it starts off in English, but then I hit the verse in German, and you can just see in the crowd, all of a sudden the Germans just like, they all just sing along. So they are in the crowd, and they just immediately.
So that was my next question.
Yes.
Do you keep the languages very neatly apart? Do you mix them in your music? You just said you may be performing a song and it switches from English to German.
Because it is actually a German song, so people know it in German. I think 80% is English, because I mean, music is a connection thing, so most people speak English. If I would go now in Oshibambo, I mean, half of the people won't even understand what I'm saying.
And especially for our genre, I suppose, as well, because we are a punk rock band. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I mean, we can
Yeah.
imagine we put out some Oshivambo in the middle of a chorus. That would be pretty cool.
No, I
So
think
do
it
members
works.
of the band have Oshiwambo?
No, unfortunately not. That's. But I mean, I don't think that should stop anyone from trying something like that.
We have collaborated with
Okay.
locals.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit about that? Yeah, the collaborations.
Yes, Shishi Papa Dice.
Mhm.
There is a song on YouTube as well where it's Oshivambo English mixed up. So I mean, and that sort of song in this country goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there's the German guys playing the instruments,
Yes.
and you've got the locals doing their languages in English and Oshivambo, which is amazing, which works.
How does that? So how do you were talking about crowds reacting and switching, and you reacting to them? So if you playing that at a gig, what's the reaction you get?
We did it once. It was a gig called Farmers and Friends. So
Mhm.
we had Farmers Attack as a main band, and we
Yeah.
got all the people that we've played with over the years. We got them in, and we did one song with these guys. And I mean, just the reaction, at the gig was amazing. Just these guys with
Yeah.
dreads coming on stage, you know, doing their local stuff.
Yeah.
He had us with rock guitars, full on blast, and everybody after the show came like that was the most amazing thing.
I think
You know,
it's something very nice in terms of mixing cultures. If you want to go
Mhm.
that route, it's something unexpected sometimes, and that could actually just be.
Especially because you said multilingual Namibia. You know, if you mix it up like that, people will be like, whoa. It's just the whole organization process behind it to get it that far, which
And
is a mission.
yeah, it's people's timing, people's
Yes, coming to practice,
yeah,
being on time.
yeah, stuff like that.
It's a problem.
So there's two more questions related to that. One is, well, you said you're a punk rock band, you have German links, you have other connections. So what music inspired you?
Well,
And is it,
a lot.
is it all sort of German or English, or are there other inspirations that come into your music?
Yeah, I mean, I've played in quite a number of bands, to be quite honest. And I mean, these go from Afrikaans bands to actually primarily playing Afrikaans. And there's a couple of awesome Afrikaans songs. How do the term they use, cheese? They are cheesy, but they are the crowd pleasers. And I mean, at the end of the day, so those guys have influenced some of the music that we make. But now, if you're gonna go into like what made you want to pick up a guitar, or what made you want to share your talents with people, I suppose you would look at from a young age I was listening to Bryan Adams. I was listening to what are these guys called? Joyride? What is it? Band? Roxette. Those
Yes.
guys. And my dad was a huge Tina Turner fan, so I got some of that as well.
That's still good original music.
Still good music.
Queen, like those
Queen,
guys.
of course,
Yes.
yeah. So I mean, there's I
still
think it's
listen
more
to it.
European because of the music that we're into, the music that we play.
Yeah.
I think those guys pushed us in the right direction. Sort of.
Check, for me, it was a band called Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was 10 years old and I just listened to this stuff. It's like just dead people and like crosses and stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. And I just listened to the music and it made me pick up a guitar. You know, it's just like, this is like amazing. And then you go into it,
Yeah.
see where they come from, what they're doing, and then, you know, never look back.
Even I can remember there was like I just said, like going on holiday, and your parents are busy playing their music in the car, and then you're laying at the back in the car, and you just if it's music that you like, you just tune into it, and even if you don't know the words, you pretend to be singing
Yes.
along. So I mean, I think even if you, I think all music would then at the end of the day would, how do I say,
Sort of
motivate you to play because subliminally you're actually listening to it and then forming your own.
It depends, you know, like you was talking about cheese, you know, you get the German version as well called
Yeah.
Schlager.
Yeah.
So cheese. I mean, and my parents used to listen to that and it just put me off music.
Okay, so it's like
the
oompa
total opposite.
music.
Oh, I can't listen to that stuff. You know, like for me it was the total opposite. I listen
Alright.
to this German stuff here and I'm just like, I can't listen to this. And then I'm also a bit of a rebel, you know. So
But were you conscious, in a sense, picking up those vibes and picking up those
Yeah.
styles? Were you then conscious that you were somehow transporting them here to Namibia? When you started having your own bands, were you, in a sense, wanting to be like that? Or were you also consciously saying, I'm taking this style, but I'm taking it to a different context. I have a different audience, so
Yeah.
I somehow have to do something different.
I think for every musician, you obviously, it's creative borrowing. You would go
Start
and
somewhere.
you just take that influence, but then you try and make it as original. You can't remake the wheel, but I mean, you try and make it as close to that, but with your own style on it, with your own.
Yeah, music these days is to be original. These days
Not
to
yet, not
be
yet, not yet.
so loud.
It's round the corner.
It's gonna get, because the microphones are right there.
Yeah.
You take that.
Okay. And to be original these days is like really hard. You get to get the band members, the talent that you have on hand,
Yeah.
and then you still have to write songs, which doesn't just happen overnight. And then you still try to be different to anybody else out there. These millions of bands, it's almost practically impossible these days.
And how does being a Namibian band based here then play out in terms of being able to promote what you do to reach audiences locally but also outside?
I mean, like we said with this Farmers and Prince stuff, okay, we did start off the battle of the bands thing with the music.
We basically competed against local bands as well.
And we've won 2 awards already, like the local music awards, which bring you on another platform.
Maybe just start from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes,
just
I can ask you that question again. So
just wait for that band.
inevitably now everybody should be, we're getting to the
Yeah.
end though, so we're getting there.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
So how does being a Namibian band then play out in terms of how you promote yourselves, how you reach audiences both here and elsewhere?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if it's just up to us, promotion is not good. You know, you've got Facebook, maybe you have a website. That's it. But we did the music awards. We won twice already. Battle of the Bands. You're part of it, so you compete against local guys, and they put you on the national television. It's always on the radios.
National television. Yeah.
And you know, national television goes all the way to the countries.
And I must also be added that it's not just rock bands. It's Shishi
Everything.
Papa. It's
Shoshani.
Shoshani. It's all those guys. All of these local Namibian bands that also speak different languages. And I mean, most of these guys like Shishi Papa, who are the other guys?
Big Ben.
Big Ben. They sing in their Oshibambo languages or Damara Nama. So I mean, you know for a fact that the audiences that usually watch them will now also be exposed to you.
But we got promoted, being part of this.
Yeah, in a big way. Yeah.
Yeah, very big. You may feel the difference because our local normal crowd is very small here.
It's starting to reduce. We've
Yes,
noticed
yes.
since about 2013.
Yes.
It's taken a hectic.
Big dip, yeah. But
dive.
we're also not that active anymore. You know, you have to be active to get people to shows. It's always like a give and take. But if you have these big events like the music awards or like the Battle of the Band, it's already organized. You just pitch, play, and then the promotion is automatic.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about those events? So, and they are comprehensive in a sense. They bring together musicians with
Yeah.
different backgrounds, with different languages, different styles. They bring them all into one competition.
Yeah. So it's the NTN Battle of the Bands. Yeah.
Which also faded. It used to be like it was 5 years in a row, but it's the last 2 years it's done. I think it's also government sponsored, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, so there's a lot of issues there. But the music awards are every year, and we've been part of it for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's I suppose it depends on which genre you decide to take in, because our genre has been removed, so we've actually tried to come in through the back door by bringing in recording now, changing our style in terms of actually doing a couple of more. We recorded our album last year, right? And then from that album we actually added on two new songs, which was a collaboration with Ease, who's in Germany, and there was also a collaboration with Dice. Now, to enter the awards, this award ceremony, we had to enter with best collaboration, and we also shot a music video for that specific song. So we had to then go and
So it's
approach it.
difficult for us. Our genre is just
Yeah.
because it's rock in Africa. You know, it's a bit dicey subject. But you can go in with best music video, and you can do that with collaboration.
Yeah, that's, and hopefully next year the rock will be back.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
but then we won't have an album.
Oh well, you know, you'll have to
well.
improve your timing.
Yes,
Really, yes,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's music is active, but yeah, it takes time. You have to be really involved, and we've got families now and stuff, so you have to juggle it.
It's becoming very hard.
Yeah.
Where it used to be like you tell your girlfriend, I'm gonna go to band practice, see you later. Now it's you need to weigh up what's more important. And I honestly do think that family is gonna come first. Every round.
Yeah.
Work is even before that.
Yeah.
So one last question which we've been asking everybody, and that is, so in the languages that you speak, in Afrikaans, for instance, I don't
Yeah.
know that. What is the word for translation?
Translation. What is it?
Yeah.
You stumped me, right?
Check, where's Google?
No. Translation is vertolking.
Vertolken.
Yeah.
And does that resemble the German?
Translation.
Vertolking is basis is basically
German.
to change to another language.
Yeah.
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 Sure. Can you imagine that? Put me on the spot
Sê,
there.
Entschuldigung, ich verstehe nicht.
Wenn ich ein Wort zum anderen verleiten oder so.
Just remember you're being recorded, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever you're saying is it better be right.
We don't have to. We don't have to
Semi
use.
things.
Yeah, we don't have to use all of it,
Disguise.
but
Um,
it's interesting. That's
Yeah.
good.
But I
Okay.
don't know, but yeah, I'm sure we can just put it there on a little bit of a. He's thinking. There it is. In a bubble.
Yeah, that's great. Is there anything else that you think we should talk about that we haven't spoken about? Again, as I said, we can then edit, cut, paste.
Anything else, Renee? I think as far as translating music, that's something we should actually look into, maybe incorporating more.
We've recorded a German song and it works. Like in a set, one song you put German, one song Afrikaans, but 80% is English.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way you communicate with the guys.
And it's hard. It's hard to change your thinking process. You know, we are set as a band. We go into a band room. Both of us usually share the task of writing lyrics, and I know for a fact that I can really put a lot more emotion into what I'm saying to you if I use English.
But it's the same with me.
Yeah.
Even though my
Afrikaans, I can do the same, but it's going to take me a little bit longer to actually
But
formulate
also because when school started, it's been English all the way. So even though you speak German at home, everything is in English. I can
And
think in
the
English.
language of songwriting is more the language of English.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And have you noticed, because you were saying that you've noticed a change in the audiences, so have you noticed already a change also in the way in which the people come to concerts approach languages? So do you feel that there is a move towards English more generally, not just in music making but also in your audiences, or not? It's not.
No,
Is that not the case?
I don't think that is necessarily the case, because if you have a Borg van Blerk who comes from South Africa and he's an Afrikaans musician, you're probably going to have 3 times the amount of people who come to our concerts going there, because it's
And they could be German, English, Afrikaans.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's an image thing, like a promotion.
yeah, I think
Afrikaans or not, it's just everybody knows it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
and I suppose it's also the older generation. They're not going to spend money to come watch a bunch of Namibian guys going crazy with guitars. They're going to go watch a South African act, or they're going to go watch a European act.
But what
They're gonna
she's
watch-
saying is it because of the English, because of
I think it's, and I do think it could be because of the Afrikaans, eh?
might be
That's-
because as I said earlier, the Afrikaans people in this country are still huge.
Yeah, there's a
very big.
it's
very,
a
very big.
large group of people, and you would like, for example, what was that band who played coffee? What's it?
Bottomless coffee band.
Bottomless Coffee Band.
Yes.
That's two. I think I wasn't sure. I didn't ask what music, what English. If they speak English or Afrikaans.
Yes, I'm not sure.
But the audience was much older. We went there, and the warehouse was packed. Was Like I think York City was sold out.
Yes.
So
But that shows me it's not the language thing.
I also think it's not the language
because
thing.
they're just amazingly good musicians.
Mhm.
You know, and that makes plays
So
a role.
good music will get through in a sense
Yeah.
if it's
That's what everybody says. Music is the biggest connection in any language or
Yeah.
culture or whatever. Doesn't matter what language you speak. I mean, Metallica goes and plays in Brazil, just speak Portuguese, but the stadium is packed. Half of them can't even speak English. You know, so it's just the music that they like.